Hello, my darlings. So I was thinking a lot about the interview that was over on Criminal Network in the Nancy Guthrie case, where Zach, who is Zach? I'll explain. Anyway, he gave an interview. And what came out of that was shocking to me. I was like, ooh. So, first of all, you have to go back in time in the Nancy Guthrie case to a point to where it's Friday the 13th and there's the raid on Luke Daley, who's pulled over in the Culver's restaurant, and his mother and his brother and a friend are detained over at their house. And at that time, there was a vehicle that was the Range Rover that Luke was driving. A lot of sleuths ran the plates, which the plates actually came back to a dealership. Later, in Luke Daley's interview, he revealed that he had just bought the Range Rover. Now we find out that the Range Rover was paid with a cashier's check. That's a lot of damn money. So it got me rolling, and I'm like, oh my God, he's not the only one that got a new car. And at all times, so points to one timeline that makes me just super suspicious, and I want to talk about all this. And then on the same show, which is the Criminal Network, hats off to them. They're doing a good job. They brought up that there's a rumor, but it's a solid sounding rumor. It's one of those kind of rumors that get leaked out on social media, such as YouTube and so forth, that turns out later to have something to it. That Kayla Day, now who in the hell is Kayla Day? All right, stay with me here. She had been previously arrested with Luke Daley, so we're still on the Luke Daley train, but we'll get into that. Kayla Day's dad allegedly, or rumor has it, a leak, was being interrogated, questioned by the FBI regarding Kayla Day in connection to the Nancy Guthrie case. All rumors at this point, but still. But I was like, we're going to get into where the money came from, allegedly, according to Zach. But we're also going to talk about who else got a new car, and that's really got me fuggled. Is that a word? Fuggled? So, this school bus just went by. Squirrel. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. Mama D coming at you in the house. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're all doing good. Maybe you're having a good morning, good afternoon, good evening. But I'm still hung up on Nancy Guthrie's case. Probably will be for a very long time. People are like, it's going cold. I'm like, oh my gosh, I worked the Idaho 4 case for 2 years. I worked the Stephen Avery case for 6 years. This is 3 months in, and everybody's like, this case is cold. This case ain't cold. You have to blow on the embers of hope. But in that, we're going to dig into this and really break it down. So thank you for joining me. Hello, my beautiful live audience. Let me get you on live play, because that top chat, I don't even know what that's about. I'm trying to say this person's name. Auntie Side Eye. Hello and welcome to the channel for your first time. Wonderful. Hi, Cheryl, Zoe, Nikki UK, OG Granny in the house. Woo, woo, woo. Hey, Rick Huffman. Good to see you all. We have a great deal of people here. We're going to get into business, which is the business of trying to understand this crazy crime where an 84-year-old woman has been ripped out of her bed at night. And somebody had to have a motive. Nobody's just going to be like, what movie should we watch? Or should we just go abduct an 84-year-old woman out of her bed? Nobody does that. Because when you look at this was a controlled crime. What do I mean? Where's the chaos? There's no chaos in the home. It's pristine, immaculate. The only signs of a struggle, if any, are blood drops on the entryway of the inside of the home and outside the front door on the patio step as you're leaving the home. Everything else is controlled. And face it, they haven't got anybody yet. So to have control, you have to have knowledge. To have knowledge, you're going to have to, for lack of better words, stalk the victim, and even that, you're not going to know the inside knowledge. As I pointed out on my other videos, you don't know if the victim's armed. You don't know if they have a security system with a silent alarm. You don't know if they have a dog. You don't know what's going on inside that home. You don't know where or if they have cameras located in teddy bears in their bedroom. You don't know anything about the inside unless you know something about the inside, which is that control. So if we have control in the crime, it would suggest logically that the control came from knowledge. Where did the knowledge come from? To me, personally, it makes me suspect inside job. Inside job, but how close? How close are you going to get to the flame? I know, another fire reference. It's just one of those things that comes to mind in the Nancy Guthrie case. So if you're just joining me in from home and you're on replay, I want to say thank you. You guys have been hyping me up. You've been subbing me. You've been doing all the things that give me a gold star with YouTube. And I'm just so thankful and grateful, as well as my beautiful live audience and my replay crew. You guys, thank you. Big thank you to you. So when we're looking at the Nancy Guthrie case, I was looking at the old saying, follow the money. How many of you have said in a comment on some video, whether it be mine or a fellow sleuther, how many of you said, follow the money? Well, not only are we going to talk about Luke Daley and cash and where that came from, but let's talk about the Sheriff Nanus, who has a new Corvette. Where'd he get that? I mean, he looks to me like, there's going to be a new sheriff in town soon. So I don't think he was getting these huge bonuses for doing a great job in the Nancy Guthrie case. I don't think they were like, man, you're doing a swell job. Here's a Corvette. So where'd you get the money? Anybody else find that strange? Okay, I'm going hard here. I'm about to throat punch people that are absolutely, how do I put it? Well, be careful how I say it. That are suffering from cognitive distancing. I'm about to throat punch them with words. And that is this. I found a dog hair on my desk. We have a situation to where, how do I even say this carefully? I want to be cautious also legally. I'm not accusing anybody of doing anything. I'm just going to say it's so strange to me. Okay? It's so strange to me that Savannah is married to a man that allegedly was a scrubber for the Clintons. I can't go on YouTube and find a picture of Tommaso. There's 3 left. He's been scrubbed off the internet. Find that strange. I find it strange that as Savannah's husband came into town, all of a sudden, Sheriff Banana Nanos changed his tune. And he was like, oh, no, the family's clear. And now he's got a sports car, a Corvette. I'm not saying anybody did anything. I'm just saying it looks like, to me, suspicious. It's like you get a new attitude because you got a new car. It happens to come in when certain people are arriving to town. Luke Daley in the car, the Range Rover. Let's talk about the cost. Where did he get the money to buy this the week after Nancy Guthrie? Well, the 10th day after Nancy Guthrie has disappeared. All of a sudden, Luke Daley and his mom allegedly walk into GM Motors and purchase with a cashier's check, basically cash, if we were to go, and I don't know what year it is, maybe it's used, but even on the low end, we're talking $90,000. Okay? If it was new, we're talking anywhere from $113,000 to $260,000. So I just want to understand where all these people getting the money for all these very expensive vehicles. I mean, Sheriff Bonanno making that kind of dough? Because, damn, really? I just don't. I don't believe it. And this whole, all of a sudden, boo-hoo from the sheriff. Like, he got out there and he was like, in the beginning he was open. He was like, well, she was taken right out of her bed. We called our homicide division. You know, he was all on the game. On the good foot. But then all of a sudden, people show up. Right? Just certain people show up quietly in the background after a couple weeks that Nancy's been gone. Oh, I don't know. Savannah's husband. I need a drink. Wet my whistle. And all of a sudden now, we got Sheriff Bonanno's Gilligan driving around in a brand new Corvette. Time for the gym, right? Basketball games and gym. He don't got to pay attention to the case. He just needs to make every interview he can count and come out and be like, well, they're absolutely clear. Absolutely clear. I mean, they're as clear as a clear dish. They're as clear as my windows in my house. Well, nobody's clear, but they are. They're clear, but nobody's clear. And somebody's like, give him a break because, you know, he just lost someone. Wasn't his brother? Okay, take some time off so you can cover your guilt. And, well, I shouldn't have said that. Could have been grieving. But I'm just saying, take some time off to digest what's going on in your life. But don't bring your sobbing tears as a sheriff to the program and boo-hoo for the family when we're supposed to be objective. We are not to run investigations with our emotions. We don't wear our emotions on our sleeve and go, well, I doubt that victim did anything. Look at her pretty little eyes. And then you turn around and go, well, that's Boswell's mom. She killed her kid. But she looks so cute. Okay? We can't come into this emotionally attached. We can't go, oh, well, she's out there with snot and boogers crying on camera and saying that she didn't hurt her kid. There you go. She said she didn't do it. And then you find out that Quentin Simon's mama did it and threw him inside of a dumpster. And then that got into a landfill. We cannot use our emotions on this case. And I'm telling you right now, I've seen it where the man arrived a couple weeks after Nancy Guthrie, and they made a little tiny show about it. They were like, look, Savannah Guthrie's husband is now on the scene. And then Savannah kind of gets quiet. Everybody gets quiet. And all of a sudden, Sheriff Bonanno comes out and clears Annie and Tommaso. Now, Luke Daley's mom's the one that went with him, according to the interview over on Criminal Network, where Zach, who worked at GM Motors, allegedly his friends that own it are the ones that sold Luke Daley the Range Rover. Zach claims he had nothing to do with it, didn't never lay eyes on Luke Daley, that he's been in Jordan. Okay. But at the same time, Zach, when the sleuths ran the Range Rover plates, it came back to GM Motors. When they looked up GM Motors, it had this guy's name, Zach, and that being his address. And that's how Zach got pulled into the deal. So Zach came out to clear his name, going, oh, everybody thinks it's me. Did it look like my eyes? No, I not be there. I be in Jordan, okay? So he's all saying that, but at the same time, he says that Luke Daley and his mom allegedly showed up at that GM dealer with a cashier's check and outright paid for that vehicle and walked. They showed up on a Friday, looked at it, came back on Monday, and had the money. Ain't no bank's going to be open over the weekend. I'm just saying, where's the money coming from? And why did they need a new car? Well, if Luke Daley hypothetically was involved with this crime, vehicles seem to be a big deal. And we have a smashed up vehicle that was sitting in Luke Daley's driveway. And I mean, it was smashed. And I ask you, was it intentionally smashed to cover up another crime? Had Luke Daley, I'm just asking, used that car in the abduction of Nancy Guthrie? And therefore, he needed to cover up a crime. So he smashed it. Okay? And said, oops, I had an accident. Maybe he told the maybe, hypothetically, spaghetti at the wall, he told the insurance company, I hit one of those habaneros or whatever those little piggy things are that run around. The habalinos. Habalinos? I can't remember what they're called, y'all. All right? So that's why you might see blood, because we hit one of those and smashed up my car. Well, anyway, it just so happened that the car sat in his driveway until Brian Enton tracks down Luke Daley and where he lived with his mother. And right there, as he's walking up to knock on the door, we all saw it. The smashed up car. Then Luke calls the insurance company, this is from Luke, to get him to pick it up so it could be assessed for insurance to see if it was totaled. If the vehicle is totaled, and if that car was part of the abduction of Nancy Guthrie, well, they've already crushed every drop of evidence of the getaway car. Because the car was totaled, allegedly. So I heard from a little bird. And so therefore, squished. Car crusher. But when you look at this whole thing, like the FBI allegedly interviewing Kayla Day's dad, we all learned about Kayla Day because we were like, who's this chick that got arrested the night before Luke Daley? That's so weird. Like, she gets busted, they get a lead, a tip, and then all of a sudden there's a raid over here that results in 4 people, 4, not 3, 4 people being detained. One of them's Luke Daley, the other is the mother, the ones that bought the Range Rover, the ones that had the smashed up car in the driveway. All right, so we all got to, who is this Kayla Day? Well, it turns out that Kayla Day was arrested with Luke in a Walmart parking lot less than a year ago. She had an AR pew pew fully loaded in her bag with some fent, and you know what I'm talking about. He got all kinds of naughty on him. They get busted in that Walmart parking lot in the same car. But he gives his interview. He don't know her. He barely knows her. Can we trust him? I don't know. Luke Daley lied outright to the camera and said he would love to know because he doesn't have a clue why they came in to detain him or why they raided that place. Well, Luke, unless you can't read, your PCA gave the probable cause that you signed. The search warrant also's all about Nancy Guthrie. How did Luke Daley and separately his mother both know that the police busted in their house and pulled him over at the Culvers? They both of them said, well, we knew it was about Nancy Guthrie. That's just peculiar. Who the hell would think that? There's not a day in my life where I'd be driving down the road and I'd see somebody pull me over and I'd be like, well, this is about an 84-year-old woman that just got kidnapped. Oh, I bet it is. That's never going to happen. So face it, that's their own admission that was first thought, that they felt that they would be considered suspicious for the act of Nancy's abduction. Now, with Kayla Day, here's the thing. You have to remember that there's a chain of events going on. We have Tommaso, Annie Guthrie's husband, who has Early Black, the band. He, in 2025, I believe June of 2025, was at Club Congress performing Early Black with his bandmates. The very same week that the resident DJ, Mojito, is doing his gig. So you know, and I know, we can go back and I can show you where they've been at the same venues for years, like 2017 to 2026. Well, 25. They know each other. Now, DJ Mojito, okay, has to know Tommaso because he's the resident DJ. He's the one that's, keeping all the other bands' morale going and holding the show together. He's hosting Scorched, where Kayla Day is showing in the videos, performing for people. Kayla Day, the one arrested before, the night before Luke Daley and the Range Rover is getting pulled over. The same Kayla Day and Luke Daley that were arrested less than a year ago in the Walmart parking lot. There's something to all this. So Luke Daley and his mom having an extraordinary large amount of cash to purchase a brand new car when their other one is smashed and towed off and deemed totaled. Big deal to me. A big deal to me. You guys feel me? So when I'm looking at this entire thing and I'm listening to Zach, I'm not seeing Zach as off the hook just because he says he lives in Jordan. To me, if you ever heard of the Jay Slater case, if you ever heard of Ahab, who was this guy that would go to Dubai and go here and go to Dubai and also was arrested, then served time in prison for being this big dealer all over, the county lines dealer, real big. Also got arrested at the same time with Potter Paper, okay? He reminds me of him. Zach reminds me of him. Now, we could never prove it, but the way that Abe's narrative went, Jay Slater just asked to hang out with him that night. They went up to some bungalow way up in the mountains where there's nothing with a 19-year-old when you're 30-something years old, and the 19-year-old never sees the light of day again. He's just dead off a cliff, and everybody's like, well, he probably just went through the mountains and fell. Okay? But Ahab gets on these videos and on the lives, and he's all like, totally mad, man, it's so fun, yeah, bro, how you doing? Oh, man, you got me? You feel me? Totally outside. Sounds innocent. Well, to even get more of an innocent, his nickname is Quack Quack on all his social media. That's who Zach is to me. I see through this whole going through McDonald's and ordering my bread. Yeah, dude. Oh, me? No, me. I don't know. I've been in Dubai. I go, U.S., Dubai, U.S., Dubai, U.S., Dubai. Oh, really? So do all the drug dealers. How interesting it is that there's all these car scams, right? That really are fronts for all that kind of shitty shit. And these Dubai guys, guess what they're really good at? Bitcoin, baby. Bitcoin. They're the Bitcoin guys. The Dubais are Bitcoin guys. I'm just saying. I've learned a lot through covering other cases. And when I look into this case, I don't see Zach as innocent. I don't see him as cool. I think he's still trying to run the narrative because people have not let go of Luke Daley, which could possibly tie back to General Motor, whatever that is. and then to him. So if you go Tommaso to DJ Mojito, and you can go right to Kayla Day, you've got a 3-step connection there. And then you tack on Luke Daley on this side because he was busted with Kayla Day. Kayla Day was busted the day before him. Boy, what a quinky dink. And then you can tie this all together and go, oh my gosh. Derek Kalila, the one that faked the ransom, is being called dad by DJ Mojito. And he's the one that's actually contacting, factually, Annie and Tommaso on their phones. And I think it's because they were getting impatient. They were starting to realize that the deal was bust. That they had been, and people are like, they wouldn't do that to the killers, because then the killers would come back and get them if they did that. Well, what if the deal was, you aren't supposed to let my mom die? If you do, it's all on you, dude. You got to keep my mom alive, and then you'll get the money. And they failed to keep Nancy Guthrie alive. And so there's not going to be revenge, because they're going to be like, damn, we just didn't know all the details. We didn't know how frail she was. Okay? So somewhere, money is exchanging hands. We have Sheriff Bananas, in my opinion, has gotten into somebody's back pocket. Or they got him in their back pocket, I should say. He's digging deep. He's getting new Corvettes. But hey, if we can get a new sheriff in town, I think that's going to help a lot. But the reason I feel that way is because there was this whole, I've never seen anything like it, to where it's almost as if these people that have been 6 times their house has been torn into and investigated. Their car was held forever. They were definitely people of interest. They were the last people to see Nancy Guthrie alive. Of course, they are persons of interest. And until we know who did do it, we don't know who didn't do it. It's that clear. So to say otherwise would suggest that you're not being impartial. That you already made up your mind before all the evidence is in. And trust me, all the evidence isn't in because we don't have an arrest. So that's the main thing. You feel what I'm saying, you guys? Yeah, Linda, I feel you could be right. To me, he feels, I didn't get chat pin. Let me do that real quick. He feels like a dirty cop, in my opinion. You think that? I kind of feel that way. Okay, Mary, every time you come in here and you advertise Doug Live Northport, but you don't add to the commentary, it ticks me off. So I'm actually going to ask my mods to block you, because you don't come in and say, hi, how's everybody doing? None of that. You come in, you drop off this time, right? Doug Live Northport podcast to see Unmasked Porch Guy before and after the crime. You're doing an ad on my channel. That's sleazy. Stop it. I don't appreciate that at all. And we do promote other channels, but I'm not going to have people come run advertisement on me. Samantha says they already found Nancy's decapitated. That's why Nanos and Savannah doesn't want anyone searching. I doubt that. If they did, we would have, there'd be too much to hide that. And where did they find her? Nancy and Mary both have pacemakers. Nancy and Mary. Who's Mary, hon? Mary Bump. Who in the world is Mary? Okay, I'm trying to find out what's going on. What did I miss? Yeah, I think that Zach is the Bitcoin guy. I really do. He's the Ahab of this case. He's the one that knows the travel back and forth. You notice the watch he's flashing? Bling, bling. Bling, bling. He's the Bitcoin guy. Just my opinion. What's up, cat lady? Thank you so much for clearing up the timeline. There's channels confusing it like crazy. And Zach is not related to Luke at all physically. Okay? It could be friends. I really do believe that. Maybe Kayla's still in jail for protection. Could be. Putting a bow on it. I just, honestly, I feel like there's several chains to the links, or several links in the chain. So think of the links we would have. We would have Tommaso, hypothetically, we would have Annie and Tommaso linked to DJ Mojito, right? That person's linked directly. DJ Mojito is linked in this chain right to Derek Kalila, because that's who DJ Mojito is calling dad. You've got Kayla Day, who's also connected to DJ Mojito because she's in Scorched on stage performing at the same time, and DJ Mojito is the one putting the show on. Kayla Day is busted with Luke Daley, who has this Range Rover, blah, blah, blah. We just went through all that. And then when you look at the entire thing, you've got DJ Mojito right in the middle. And if you look at the situation, you would have to have somebody that knows how to do Bitcoin. You'd need somebody that knew how to work the deal. Somebody that had the connections to Dubai, most likely. That did a lot of traveling already. Look at that. Luke may have somehow given away a clue by not having plates on the Range Rover when he got pulled over. Because it all led back to Zach, and he says, oh, I'm not the guy, I'm not the one. I never saw Luke Daley in my life. Probably hasn't. Probably never laid eyes on either of them. See, I'm thinking it goes back through maybe how Luke acquired the car. And then there's somebody on this end working it over here. So you've got your money person. Something there. And if it would have been me, I would have been like Zach. Even though he would have lied, possibly, if he's a liar. But I would have said, Zach, how well do you know Derek Kalila? That's what I would have asked. Because I do think that they have their own little pact in their Satanism club, that they're doing bad things. I really do feel that way. Zach has a gift for gab because he's a Ahab, right? Remember I told you, Ahab was like, this 19-year-old boy went to his place, Ahab's place, at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And by 10 o'clock, the kid is allegedly lying over a cliff in a ditch with a wound to his leg and going to die. But Ahab was all about, hey man, totally cool. Yeah, we did some rockets last night. Woo, bad. It was bad, man. No, it's how they pull it off. And it's why they get away with so much. Because people don't see them at their face value, how dangerous they really are, how conniving they really are, and how many connections they truly have. Now, Ahab went to prison and he was plastered all over the UK press as one of the top dogs that were doing all this trafficking of rugs. Well, when you get into this situation with Zach, you have to question when he is actually talking about all his travel from Dubai to the U.S. and he says, oh, I have a son in the U.S. All right, who cares? It still brings you into question. Kayla Day was married to a man that went to prison for human trafficking. I kid you not. between Mexico and the U.S. He was bringing them back or something. I don't know. But he got arrested. He got sent to prison over it. Not good. And if you think Kayla Day is so sweet and nice, just replay those words in your mind that she was the one with Luke Daley in the Walmart parking lot with an AR-15 pew pew. If you don't know what that is an automatic pew pew. That means you push the button and all kinds of pew 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 happens. And there's no forethought. It's not like, oh, should I fire another? Should I fire another? No, that's auto. And it was fully loaded in a Walmart parking lot. She got a bag full of rugs. She's been seen on her own Facebook hanging from her skin by hooks and being like, and swinging. Okay? Not somebody you want to mess with, I don't think. I began to think, everybody's saying that this is a woman on the front porch. How tall is Kayla Day? Is she 5'9"? We never looked at her. Perhaps we should. Michelle says, why is it always the grown-up guy living with their mommies that seems the worst and most effed up? I don't know. It's sad. 2 people got new vehicles. 1 person got a plea deal. Isn't it interesting, though, how where did Gilligan get a new Corvette? What about those 2 leather-clad freaks taking photos at Nancy's? Right, Deborah? Both of them look like Frankenstein and the Bride out there. They're trying to convince us they have nothing to do with Scorched. They have nothing to do with the fetish, but they're wearing identical boots that Kayla Day puts on. You can't really say, what are you, a wannabe fetish person? You want to be it, but you can't, so you're not? Or are you full-blown just what? I don't think any of us really fell for the whole, oh, I'm just a true crimer like you guys on a different platform. No, you came out showing your tush. You're not like us. Not at all. Diane says, I wondered in the beginning if she didn't turn state's witness. That's a good question, actually. Let me get caught up. What you give one. I like your name. I know I will find lots of goodies I want to buy Mama D's store, especially the lotion she has talked about before. Yeah, you guys. Well, thanks for the transition. You guys, my Jersey Girls lotion here is amazing. I get it locally and from an certified organic farmer, and it's made with raw cow's milk. It's all natural, no chemicals, and I sell it in my shop at 1111dex.com. So make sure and check out my wonderful lotion. And I've got lots of true crime memorabilia, including a true crime junkie hat, true crime junkie socks, coffee mug. I've got true crime tumblers, all kinds of fun stuff. Yep, Heather, that's what I'm saying. The bit man coin is Zach. That's all I could hear in my head the whole time he was talking. It was like everything he said to me was like Charlie Brown's teacher, because I was like taking in his whole attitude, looking how much he wanted to make sure that watch was on camera, right? Because what you and I don't normally know is that that's advertisement, okay? That's them saying, hey, I'm somebody that knows what they're doing. Look at my bling bling. I got it going on. This is my trophy right here. And how expensive my watch is says a lot about me in the Bitcoin world, right? And a lot of people like good watches, but when you start getting that bling bling and Dubai, and you get these guys that are all like, oh yeah, man, right? Yeah, okay. Who are you talking about? Bosie cardiologists? Y'all are killing me. I don't even know. Are you talking about Luke Daley's mom? Are you talking about Luke Daley's mom, that they share the same cardiologist, allegedly? Oh, Prime Candy! Oh my gosh, I love you. 16 months. Miss you so much. Good to see you. No, I love you. Aw, you're amazing. Penny Rogers says, not just an expensive car, but an expensive home, too, allegedly. Just Me says, don't forget, Nancy wasn't well known to be Savannah's mother till she was on the Today Show October and November 2025. Blue Catskills says, the dude in leather came gay in your opinion. Kiki did look hot though, coming from a straight male. Yeah, I think she's a cross-dresser. I don't think she's female. Just my opinion. I think it was two males. Blue Catskills, these people got to be in chat to see what we're saying about them. Who cares? You just gotta have thick skin, not care. Hi Maggie, how are you? Been a lot of clues left, right? Oh gee, Nanny, just wonder if someone can tell me where I could see the picture of Kayla Day. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. You want to see Kayla Day? I got a lot of pictures of that girl, and they're all disturbing. I may have to open a different thumbnail because I had cut this one in half because it was overloaded. So hold on a minute. All right. How long I got? I got time. I'm going to show you. I'll show you. I'll show you. It's going to take me a minute to find the file because we have, 1 million on the case. All right, let me see. Where's Kayla Day? Who's that? Well, hi, Lucky. Why are you fussing at Mamas? Okay. There's Kayla and Luke and the car I'm talking about. Let me see this. Bring front. Whoops. Oops. I want to show you the car real quick. Is that what... they said they saw a gray car, allegedly, in Nancy's driveway. It was either a truck or a car, but it was gray. Well, that looks pretty gray to me. Tires are black, but the car is gray. Could that be the car? And this little thing right here is Miss Kayla Day. Let me get this off her face. That's Kayla Day. Now let's go up a little bit, see if I can find more on Kayla Day. I did a lot on Kayla Day, so there should be a whole section on Kayla. And if it's not here, then I'm going to begin to wonder. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So Kayla Day is connected allegedly to, what's this? Oh, this is Kayla Day swinging. This is Kayla Day swinging like I told you. I'll bet you she's 5'9". She's having to really shrink her legs up so her toes don't hit that floor. And that guy's standing there and she's still a foot taller. Here you go. She likes bondage. She's into fetish. She's licking a knife. This is Kayla Day. This is her Facebook. See, Secret Mutilator? That's Derek Kalila. And this is all kinds of stuff that's on his homepage. Then you have the Secret Mutilator right here. And you have DJ Mojito right here. Is this the one? Yeah. See how Kayla Day does piercings? With these little studs right here? This is off her page. Kayla Day's a tattooist and also does piercing. Look at his cheek. This is what I had for you guys. Kayla Day connected to Derek Kalila. This is how I did it. Derek Kalila, who is connected to DJ Mojito, who's connected to the people that are into Scorch, which to me, I believe that Kiki and her little boy toy there were. And then Kayla Day for sure is. Kayla Day connects to Luke Daley. And the wrist bone connects to the hand bone. All right, let's go up here. Let's see what else we have. Yeah. Then when you look at it, you got this triangle between, you got Derek Kalila, who contacted Tommaso, and these two are like buddies because Mojito calls him dad, right? He knows, Tommaso knows DJ Mojito because they do the, whole thing together at the bands. And then you've got Kayla Day, who also does Scorched. And then you've got the Luke Daley that's in all this right here. And I'll bet you Zach is probably the Dubai guy that does the Bitcoin. Let's see what else we have. I don't know. I was really hung up on this whole thing. You got the good sister. Mostly what God does. Savannah Guthrie. And then you got the good dark, Annie Guthrie, right? The scrubber. Foaming bubbles. Scrubbing so you don't have to. Just saying. Intriguing. All right. That's about all I have for you today. I just find it strange where nanos get all the money to get a Corvette. Luke Daley's mom goes in there, hands over a cashier's check, same as cash, for a Range Rover. Those are not cheap. Where are these people getting all this money for not just any car, but all these expensive cars right after Savannah's husband? I'm just asking questions, not saying he did anything just weird, that he shows up and everybody gets new cars and all of a sudden Luke Daley's name gets shh. And then all of a sudden Nanos is like, Annie and Tommaso are clear. They have nothing to do with it. We should just leave him alone. All right, I've got to go drive my new Corvette now to the game or to do some, I need to work out. Oh no. Saba's gorgeous. Why is she married to that troll-looking guy? As you're a reader, that is what I watch. I can't remember who it is said. Red was all over one woman that took Nancy, but never said Kayla One Direct. It's her? Beth, all those birds look alike with their silly little mustaches and little beards and similar tough guys. Very strange people. All right, my lovelies. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. Had to get all this off my chest. I don't think we are that far off. I really don't. Oh, I have my old subject up. Hold on. Let me put the new one up now that the video's done. I mean, better late than never, right? So you guys, I was like, do I make the thumbnail show me the money? Or do I make it follow the money? And I thought, why show me the money? They already got the money. They got a little bit of it. Almost like a down payment. I don't know. Bye. I can't talk now. Bye, Blue Catskills. I love you guys. I'll see you again very, very soon. If you would like to continue on with me, I want to check out Luke Daley. I want to see what the cards say about him. I want to understand, is he involved in the Nancy Guthrie abduction? I just want to see what the cards say. I'm curious. And if that's not your thing, then feel free to skip that step. And if it is your thing, then make sure and tune in about 5 minutes. I've switched some things over and we're going to roll again. And then after that live, we're going to come back for our third live. Yes, you heard it. 3 lives. And we're going to let the private eyes ask some questions about the Nancy Guthrie case. I love you guys, and I hope you'll stay with me. I'll see you again very soon. Love you to the moon and back.
From the dust, I was born. To the dirt I shall return when my eyes are closed. In the shadows, my enemies will think they won, but I am here to stay. Destiny will overcome. No, I am not afraid. Like a phoenix in the night, my soul will rise. From the darkness to the